Boss? Odin? Y'all got loud the moment I started my stream.
That works. Plus, that way I can see what I have in my bank
Oh yeah,
that
and I can
might be
also check
for
my bank.
MR.
You're doing phase cast right now, right?
That's the plan.
Hey, only tip I'll give you on that one is you want to get down to the bottom of the mysticism tree, which I think is blue, which you should be able to see that color. Okay. Now the only tree you won't be able to see is that orangish red one. I know, because of your colorblind thing. Oh fuck no,
Well, I
the
can
other
still
one's green.
read.
Yeah.
So I got
Uh,
Mystical Assault already, like 5 in Do Harm, 5 in Violent Tapestry, 5 in Restless, 3 in Transcend, 1 in Ascendant, 3 in Laid Bare,
while
3
you're
in Wrath.
while you're going down the tree, there is one skill on there in the blue tree that makes a remnant based off your overkill damage. You're gonna want one
Yeah,
point in that.
Reverberatin.
Just one. 1 point in that is all you need. If you have more, it'll help. It'll make it do more damage, but 1 point in that is all you need.
Yeah, I put 3 in that sucker.
Oh hey, that's gonna be a powerful overkill thing, but this 1 point, I only have 1 point in on my build, and that thing does so much overkill damage, and it escalates the overkill damage with each one, that you'll see it
And
build
then
up in the millions until it passes past the damage cap, the visual damage cap.
and then I'm also using Reverberation.
Reverberation,
And
okay.
yeah, Reverberation because it increases damage for every enemy it hits.
Yeah. And the second thing I'll give you advice on is in her elemental tree, right? That's gonna give you like the infusion skill and stuff to put your elements into your gun. She has a skill that increases her elemental damage, but it also further increases her shock damage on top of that. Okay? So what you do is you don't pick an element for your action skill, and you use the electric phase cast to maximize this damage.
Yeah, so Tempest.
Yeah.
Amara deals increased elemental damage. Shock damage is further increased.
Yes, looks like a shocky skull thing.
Yes.
Yeah. And you want a little survivability from what would be the green tree, but you won't be able to see that, but it's gonna have her personal space and stuff like that. It's got a picture of like a hand with a gun. That one's gonna increase your damage the closer you are to enemies, but also decrease the damage they do to you the closer they are. So you can get in their face and fucking phase cast them. And the version of phase cast you want to use, you said you're using reverberation, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that's the good one. That's the one that whenever it passes through enemies, it builds more damage for every enemy it hits, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes. My brother is picking the good stuff.
And then I was um, thinking about using Stillness of Mind, enemies damaged by Mars. Um, once I come in, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Now, the one I recommend using for her little augment skill with it is the life tap one, where
Yeah.
you get a percentage of your health back for how much damage you do. Because if you do your setup right with that, you're gonna do millions of damage with your phase cast. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll go ahead. Oh, we're already in Sanctuary. Look at that.
Fingers crossed and no crash.
Oh, no, it shouldn't be. We're both on PS5. I haven't had a single crash on this game since I've gotten the PS5. Like, I know it's still going to have a chance to crash because it's Borderlands 3, but I have yet to have one. Okay, so there's a
Right.
couple things.
So let me go hit the reset.
I'm gonna check for. Hey, look at that. I already got some 250 phase cast weapons, but I want to get you something good with 250 phase cast, and I know I fucking have some.
Alright, so start off in Mystical Assault. So, because I mean, is fast hands really necessary?
For the reloading thing?
Amara's reload speed, weapon swap speed, and mode switch speed is improved. I don't think so.
Not really, unless you're using like her If you're doing the melee build with her, where you'd have the face puncher and the not the blade thrower gun, the blade fury. That blade fury takes forever to reload, so that's the only time I'd use that skill with Amara, personally.
So, do harm. Killing an enemy grants Amara a stack of rush. Activating her action skill consumes all rush
Yes.
stacks. For every stack of rush consumed, Amara's action skill damage is temporarily increased. Have that maxed out.
Oh,
4.5% per stack.
and I'm gonna get you
And
something good to go with that called the Phase Zerker class mod, which what it's gonna do is it's gonna make it to where every time you activate your action skill, you get max rush stacks. So you're gonna be able to stack up this little bonuses from them on the side up to 99. And for every stack of rush, it says 1% increased gun damage and action skill damage, but it's actually 3%.
then Violent Tapestry. Applying a status effect grants Amara a stack of rush. Activating her action skill consumes all rush stacks. For every stack of rush consumed, Amara's status effect chance is temporarily increased.
Do you like the Dark
Should,
Army gun?
it's fun.
I have an electric Dark Army with after using phase cast, weapon damage is increased by 250% for a short time.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Oh my god. Hold on
I'll,
1 second.
I'll grab that for you then.
What's up, bud? Probably gonna make a steak. No, I'm not making tacos. Probably gonna do a steak.
Steak sounds bomb.
Exactly. You'll eat steak.
Steak's so good, especially when paired with potatoes and some other kind of vegetable.
So maybe do 2 in Violent Tapestry. Just giving it 1.2% per stack. And then
We're gonna do here. One of those increases your action skill damage. Pay attention to that one, and you're gonna want all 5 in that one with their rush stacks. Those 2 rush stack ones at the top of the blue tree.
yeah,
Yeah, I think that's the
that's
one you
do
already have
harm.
5 in. Yeah.
Yeah, do harm. And then 5 in Restless. Amara gains increased action cooldown rate,
See,
25%.
luckily
That's
for you,
important.
Thomas, I can agree with your stuff. You're doing really good so far for somebody who's never played a Siren. By the way, this is Thomas's very first time playing Amara, period. He's never done Amara. And me, who has multiple Amara builds, is impressed with the decisions he's making all on his own with zero influence from me. Literally, the only thing I've told him so far is to go all the way down the blue tree and to grab
Which I
that
already planned
elemental
to.
shit and use shock. Which he apparently already planned to do all that, so. But the reason you want to go all the way down the blue tree is so you can get that double cast for your phase cast. And what you're going to want to do with that, Thomas, is you're going to want to use it and then use it immediately again because it does reset your cooldown after you do the second cast. But if you do it right and you double cast that shit, that second cooldown is going to be faster than your first one.
Alright, then Laid Bear. Enemies take increased damage from all sources for a few seconds after being damaged by Mars action skill. Have that at 3, because that is like 25% increase. Then Wrath. Amara gains increased gun damage. This effect is increased after she activates her action skill for a few seconds. That will also be maxed at 20%.
And
Should I
don't worry,
worry about
people.
her fire rate and charge time?
A little bit.
So
Because
maybe put
fire
1
rate
in from
does
rest.
help with damage, and that charge thing will help with any guns, like Mali 1 guns, that have that little charge beforehand. It'll
Okay.
make that charge be faster. Which,
I'll put 1 in
I
that.
might have something to
Then
hook you up with in that variety.
Remnant. When Amara kills an enemy with a gun or action skill, she creates a homing projectile that seeks out a new enemy, dealing her action skill elemental damage. Any overkill, so you said only 1 in that.
Yes. And then that thing gets fucking nuts.
Amara's rush stacks gain increased effectiveness. That's a 3.
Ooh, well, I could have swore I had a 250 phase cast one, but I have another one that you can use. So Hellshock swaps between electric and fire. You'll probably want to use it on fire mode, because then with your infusion skill, you'll do electric and fire at the same time anyway. But,
Electric and ice, bro.
oh yeah?
Oh, yeah.
You use an ice for your element?
Dude, ice is always fun.
I got you. Okay, well, use this on electric mode, and then have ice and electric. But, The ability on this one is astral projection damage is increased by 200% for phase cast and related action skills. So your reverberation does count. And that'll give it a 200% bonus while you're holding the Hellshock.
Alright, so now we're in Fist of the Elements. So, Anima, Amara status effects deal increased damage over time and have increased duration. Our action skill effect deals further increased damage. Yes.
Oh, damn. We'll have to dupe this later. But I have a 250 phase cast Boomsicle.
Convert a portion of damage dealt by Amara's weapons into her action and skill element. Is that what you were talking about? Infusion?
Yes. Infusion.
Max it out?
Yes. That is a beautiful skill.
Should I max out Anima with the status effects?
Anima?
And
No, I usually just put like 1 or 2, because that's the one that spreads the status effects, right?
yeah.
Or like gives you a chance to apply multiple.
So Amara's status effects deal increased damage over time and have an increased duration. Her action skill status effect deals further increased damage.
Yeah, that one you do 1 points in.
I put 2 in out of 5, so which gives 8%, 40%, and 16%.
But
should I max it or
maybe not, because you will be popping things pretty fast if you got your setup right with that.
Alright. And then Tempest, Amara deals increased elemental damage, shock damage is further increased. You said max that one out.
Yes. Bro, I found you some pretty decent guns, not gonna lie.
Amara gains increased melee damage and her melee damage is converted to her action skill element. Whenever Amara applies a status effect to an enemy, it has a chance to spread to nearby enemies.
Do you like rocket launchers?
Not really.
Okay, never mind. Cause I have this Rhina that has the 250 phase cast ability.
Alright, so I'm not using grasp, so I'm not
So
going to go
far,
down
I
that
got
far.
you a pistol, a shotgun, and an SMG. Need to find you an assault rifle. I found one assault rifle, but we need to do that. Ooh, I have you a storm space cast. Alright people, if you're just joining in, there will be Borderlands 4 talks. We're just getting Thomas set up on his first ever siren. We're gonna go into some content.
Ooh. I'm going to put one in indiscriminate.
Okay. We got that for you.
After you money shot me with.
That for you. That for you, and that for
you. Ooh, TDR. Dark Army. Ricochet chance and damage are increased.
Speaking of TDR, you have a chance in Borderlands 4 for any gun, no matter what. Like, you get Vladoff, Mally 1, Torque, or Jacobs, or one of the 3 new ones, which are dataless, which its special thing is that it can use multiple ammo types. We have the Order, which all the charge effects from like the Mally 1 guns are now over for that. That one does the charge up effects, and then we have Ripper, which is pretty much like the Bandit, COV, Scav type thing, right? But you can have multiple parts from multiple manufacturers spawn on one gun in Borderlands 4. The example they gave was a Vladoff assault rifle that had a Torque explosive sticky barrel, a Mally 1 elemental changer, and a Hyperion shield on it. And they replaced relics. So we no longer are going to have relics in Borderlands 4, Thomas. Instead, we're going to have an enhancement slot where we have 3 slots. And they're going to give these enhancements have like manufacturer specific things, but it doesn't target the guns, it targets the parts. So say you have specific guns types, like we'll just throw out, for example, TDR, Vladoff, and Mally 1. As long as your guns you're finding have parts from TDR, Vladoff, and Mally 1 on them, they'll get those effects.
What a rager, though. Good times.
So it's going to completely change up how we do builds. And apparently the higher you go up in rarity, the more chances to have multiple parts from multiple manufacturers. So I'm
Okay,
very curious
okay.
to see how that's going to go down. They replaced our grenade slot with something called ordnance, which is now going to either be grenades or heavy weapons like rocket launchers, miniguns, grenade launchers. They showed a big heavy machine gun that had 2 barrels, and it had 60 shots. I noticed when they stopped using it, though, they didn't use all 60 shots, and that made its cooldown shorter. And its ammo was going up 1 bullet per, like, so much time of the cooldown. So the cooldown is related to the bullets, and the way grenades are going to work is they're not going to have ammo anymore, they're going to have charges, that each charge has its own separate cooldown. But you'll be able to use those. They added in something that they called, like, I forgot what the heck they called it actually. It's like a little, something started with an R. I can't remember the name of it now. But basically what it does is it gives you bonus effects, like the one they showed, for example, gave you healing, kind of like a potion. But they said that it could have like damage increase, speed increase, damage reduction, things like that. So we could have all kinds of versions of those. Uh, the Vault Hunters for builds, the way their thing's gonna work. So we got the 3 action skills thing again, and each action skill's got its own skill tree. But the skill tree, it starts off as a single skill tree going under the action skill, and then that branches off 3 times. So technically, each Vault Hunter is gonna have 12 skill trees.
Holy shit.
Because you're going to have the one that branches into 3 separate branches. And then that's going to be 3 times over. So 9 bottom branches and 3 top branches. The only character they really showed off skills for were Vex, the new Siren, and her stuff is interesting. That's also where they showed off each Vault Hunter has a trait now. I don't know if this is something you can swap between multiple different traits, or if each Vault Hunter just has the one trait. But the trait they showed was for Vex, and her element of her action skill and her melee is attuned to the element of whatever weapon she has equipped. And they showed on screen, so the action skill they were using was her familiar trouble, which is like this panther wolf thing, right? And on
Hmm.
screen, while they were changing their weapons, it was changing colors and elements. Which is pretty lit. I forgot I was supposed to look for you with Phase Zerker class mod to help bring your
Alright,
build
so
together.
this is what I have. Alright, so
Mhm.
going down Mystical, 5 in Do Harm, 2 in Violent Tapestry,
Mhm.
5 in Restless, 2 in Transcend, 1 in Ascendant, 1 in From Rest, 3 in Laid Bare, 3 in Wrath, 2 in Remnant, 3 in an Awakening, and then 1 in Avatar.
Okay.
So all the way down that tree. Then in Elements, I have
We're
2
cooking.
in Anima. I have 5 in Infusion, 3 in Wildfire,
Mhm.
5 in Tempest, and I stopped there.
Okay.
Then I went over to Brawl, and I put 2 in Root to Rise for max health, 3 in Personal Space,
Mhm.
1 in Arms Deal for splash damage, because you gave me a shotgun. Shotguns have splash
Oh, speaking of
damage.
shotguns, the only phase Zerker I'm finding so far gives you health regen, shotgun damage, and dual weapon reload speed, so that'll help with your shotgun stuff. But what it
And
does
then,
is on action skill used, Amaro gains max rush stacks for count, but they decay over
mhm,
time. Amaro gains 2% weapon damage and 1% action skill cooldown rate per rush stack, and it gives you an additional 5 max rush stacks.
so 15 instead of 10. Cool.
Yeah,
Then
but
I put 3 in Samsara.
ooh. But here's a shield. We'll want to try to re-roll that later to get you on action skill start anointment for that. So that way every time you phase cast, you get that shock and rage. But for now, every time your shield breaks, you'll get that shock and rage. And every time you use your phase cast, you'll get that bonus radiation damage, I think it does. And then that grenade gives you bonuses for throwing it.
You gave me the sniper rifle too, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
Yeah.
There should be a storm, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Alright. Now, while you finish up all that and pick up those items, I gotta use the bathroom real quick.
And the only thing I need left now is just to find me a fun artifact.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what would be a good artifact to go with you. There's a lot of good choices for that build.
But yeah,
Style.
anyhow, so I then put 2 in helping hands, gaining that damage reduction.
Okay, I'm listening, but I'm gonna be muted because I'm going to the bathroom
Yep.
right now.
2 in vigor to grant all allies increased movement speed. And then 2 in mindfulness. 1 in trust in yourself. 2 in no mistakes in nature. 2 in heavy rain. 3 in unweave the rainbow.
I don't remember what that one does.
Amara deals bonus damage of her attuned element whenever she deals melee damage or splash damage to frozen enemies.
Oh, that's in the purple tree. That's right.
Yep, because that's where cryo is.
Yeah, that's right. I honestly, I forgot you were using cryo, right? Because I use shock in mine. I actually don't use any of that purple tree.
Oh, really?
But, yeah, for my phase
Well,
cast. So this is gonna be interesting.
and
Definitely
then
curious how your stuff goes down.
3 and go with the flow. Whenever Amara freezes an enemy, she gains increased movement speed and weapon damage for a short time. And then 1 in combo breaker. Killing an enemy with a melee damage has a chance to reset Amara's action skill cooldown.
Okay, we need to get you a cryo face puncher. Sounds like it. Oh, I guess any weapon you use will have cryo because you have infusion. We just need to get you a good face puncher and a, what is it, the cryo stone relic. They'll get you a white elephant, so it adds those mines in too.
Oh, I got 7 guardian. Let's increase some melee damage there. Some grenade damage. Melee. Melee.
Right, everybody, I'm on my way back.
What is this, guard duty? Let's get moving!
My Moses getting the impatient. I heard her say, what is this, guard duty? Let's get moving. Patience, Mose, patience.
Alright, let's see here.
Oh, I forgot to go make sure the stream is up on out there. Thomas is getting set up here. So I'll have to talk about this again later when more people show up. But that leak that was, according to a video I saw by somebody called Loot Expanded, they had a post pulled up that was from the Epic Games store, where they said that Borderlands 4 will, after release, will be supported, continuing on with both free and paid DLC content, including 2 new playable Vault Hunters and expanded story DLC. But then that post was taken down, so it's something that either they weren't supposed to release yet and accidentally put up, or it's information that's subject to change. I'm really hoping it's the former rather than the latter on that one. I really hope that they accidentally just leaks that we're getting 2 DLC Vault Hunters. And that's not something that's subject to change, that we'll actually get them. Because that's something that people really loved here for 3. Granted, getting an extra skill tree was pretty nice too. Since I'm back in here, let's go ahead and look for you a decent relic.
I'm checking to see which ones I have. So, well, no, that's electric slide, static charge. Firestone Victory Rush, kill a badass to trigger a Victory Rush.
But that's for all
18
stuff.
Holy Grail. Increased weapon damage, movement speed, health regen per second 10%. Plus passive bonuses, 10% max health and regenerates 1% of health a second. After reviving an ally, you and your ally gain weapon damage, movement speed, and health regen for 60 seconds. Okay. Hot drop launch pad.
Ooh. So this one, the other abilities aren't all that special. It does the imbue, slide with corrosive, like that's cool and all. Slide kicks up corrosive shards, but your slam is going to trigger a shield that reduces your incoming damage by 57% and lasts for 5 seconds. Also gives you cryo damage, shock, shield recharge delay, and shock resistance.
So I have hot drop launch pod, or pud. I can't pad. Ha! Can't read today. So imbue slam with incendiary, slams bonus damage 125% fire. Slam radius 50%, fireballs 5. Slam launches a barrage of homing rockets. Pocket rockets. Ha! Increased max shield with 11,000. 34% action skill cooldown rate, and a plus 43% shock resistance. Slam launches incendiary projectiles that spawn magma puddles.
Ooh. How does this sound to you? Icebreaker Moxie's Endowment. You do bonus 50% damage against frozen enemies, get an increased 61% cryo efficiency, 14% experience from combat, 28% shotgun damage, 73% magazine size, and regenerate 990 health a second.
Sounds pretty good.
Got you, boo, I got you. And just in case you want to use that Caustic Coast safeguard, do that on there too. So
yeah,
I got
to increase
guns for
magazine size.
Into Iron Bear, and I got a gun for when I hop out of Iron Bear. Let me see what everything's equipped to. Okay. So that's how I fast swap. Let's see here. Mini Bear. Yeah, Auto Bear. One pistol's the only thing that's Auto Bear. Everything else is minigun damage.
Nobody does this better than Marcus Munitions. All I'm saying is, if you don't buy an SDU, you're probably going to die.
Marcus.
Making money.
Do you need some money, Thomas?
No. I'm just using my golden keys.
I got you. Auto selling stuff.
Damn right.
Alright, my good sir. I'll figure out something else for us to go test your build on. Do you want to do a slaughter or a trial?
We can do both.
What would you rather do first?
Let's do a slaughter.
Alright. Still gotta open up the trials on this character, looks like, so we'll have to go grab those after.
Oh, got some legendary stuff here. That's a gunner. That'll go great for mine.
So it's to Pandora, even though I'm pretty sure I can just fast travel us to the slaughter.
I'm just doing something real quick so I can get me some ammo space.
Are you good, man? You just let me know when you're ready.
Woven Elementalist. Whenever more use face grass. Oh,
Glad
yeah.
you're here. Always safer with the vault hunter nearby.
Yeah, some of that stuff is very specific to
The lob.
nowadays. Hey man, be lobbing stuff.
Damn.
Just lighten up this target dummy while we're waiting. Waiting on good sir up there. Making himself some money and some ammo. So if you need me to, I can drop you something to sell for a lot of money.
I mean, you can. It's... Oh,
Speed up the process. Oh, only got 4 of those left. I'm gonna have to dupe some more soon. Those last 3 are gonna stay in my inventory until they get duped. There you go. It's behind you. That should give you more than enough money for a good start.
Loot over there.
oh shit. Oh shit.
Yep. That's it. Should give you more than enough money for a good start.
Infinite dollar bills.
Yeah. Mucho dinero. That's what I need to swap the. They only had enough
Okay.
for 1 roll. Let's switch to shock damage. It's whatever. It's whatever. Alright, you ready?
Let's do this.
Who said slaughter shaft?
You want to slaughter my... You want to slaughter my shaft?
No,
What?
no. We're going to the shafts that involve slaughtering. It's a whole separate thing.
They sound very similar.
No. It's just a location.
So is that one.
No. No, it does not. It will never be.
Hey there, player! Welcome to the COB Slaughter, sponsored by Torg. Now I don't go in for all that fussing and fighting myself, but I have plenty of COB buddies who are willing to go all out to sacrifice your heretic ass. So why don't you get in there and give us a show?
Yeah.
It's time for another fucking slaughter! Hell yeah!
I'm gonna die.
Hey, maybe. Maybe. Maybe not. Just remember to use your face cast a lot. Double tap that shit. Aim up a little more. There you go. Look at you go. I don't even know how much damage you did, but you fucking murdering shit.
Over there.
Oh wait. I'm down.
What?
That might be your only weakness is when you go down.
There.
Oh, no, you still got them pretty good.
Oh, it's not picked up behind.
Walk forward into the bubble. The bubble is safety. Oh, I didn't have the right gun equipped whenever I jumped into this. Sorry, but... There we go. Oh, that guy's up there. Yeah, a person hiding behind me.
That was so good, it made me want to fucking explode!
So you're doing good, Thomas. I'm gonna actually start trying a little. I was just letting you make sure you were good first. I'm like the whole assault squad right now. I got my freaking dark army on, so whenever I go into my Iron Bear, it's got little guns floating around it, and then when I do the eject thing, they're still out, and I jump in the fucking turret. Became a whole firing squad, Tom. Those go burr.
I'm down.
Oh no. Can you get back up?
No.
Quiet. Stay still. No one take a picture.
See, you had all the aggro. Good job. I didn't get shot at once while I was reviving you.
Are you serious?
Yep. Do you have that skill from her that makes you take more, do more damage, but draws in more aggro?
Probably.
It's in there, toward the bottom of the purple tree.
No.
Okay, never mind. I have that skill in my Empress. But she uses a lot of that purple tree.
Oh, what the? Where did it take me down at? I'm down, but it's okay. I'm trying.
I'm off now.
Alright, Nathan. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye, Nathan.
See you, bud. I just gotta get better with the aim on the phase.
Yeah. But hey, at least you get a double tap on it. So if you miss the first time, you still hit him the second time. And it recharges really fast. I don't know if you noticed that or not.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, do you need to get ammo or anything?
Yes.
I'm gonna clean up some loot.
That's what I'm gonna do too, but ammo definitely. This
I'm on
freaking
those.
shotgun's shooting like a damn...
Machine gun. Yeah, the butcher's fucking gnarly, especially if you use it after you use that base cast, if it's the butcher I gave you.
That's what I'm using.
Yeah.
Oh, mother.
Step in an
I'm
elemental
down.
puddle?
Yeah.
I did too. I don't know
I
why
got
that
you.
fire's still burning
Is
over there.
touching me as exhilarating an experience as I think?
Amora.
Free money, free money.
You can definitely tell she loves herself. Especially with comments like that. Is touching me as exhilarating as I think?
Even more so.
There's so much loot between rounds.
It's 5 rounds, right?
Yeah. We just finished the first. Actually, I wonder if in Borderlands 4 if they're gonna have any kind of like slaughter or anything like this. They are gonna have, so we go and open something called silos, right? And they're gonna mark a location on our map. That within that location we can find a vault key fragment. If we get all the vault key fragments, vaults in Borderlands 4 are gonna be dungeons. With high-end enemies and loot. So that's something I'm a bit excited for. See how well those go, if maybe that'll be the in-game grind or something. See what all they do for in-game. Curious what level cap's gonna be like at launch. I'm curious if we're actually gonna get those 2 DLC Vault Hunters. That leak. Really excited about the new way that weapons are set up. Curious how they're gonna do the skill trees for the other Vault Hunters, because we got a good chunk of the skill tree from Vex, the Siren, but we didn't get anything from Ratha, who's the Exo Soldier, who's former TheLoungeGamerThomas, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they gave us backgrounds for all of them. So Vex had like a criminal background, and like she grew up poor and stuff, and it only got harder for her after she discovered she was a Siren, right? And that she inherited her Siren powers. Then we have Rafa, who is a guy who was born in minimal gravity, so he has like really bad muscles and bone density and structure. So to be able to explore the galaxy, he signed up for Meteor to go on a tour of duty in exchange for them building him an exosuit that allows him to, you know, get out in the world. Well, he found out that Meteor wasn't going to honor his contract and let him go, so ironically, the person from the company that has throwaway guns wasn't going to throw away a person most people would have thrown away. Anyway, he left them, and now he's trying to do what he can before the end of his life comes, because I guess the exosuit will expire at some point.
Oh, elemental blast on me, bitch.
Not losing you today. Thank you.
So, besides those two, which were the ones I showed off mostly in the state of play,
Uh-huh.
we also have a Mon, which is the big guy. He's what's called a Forge Knight. And then I don't know if it's Gravitator or Gravatar. I've heard it pronounced both different ways. I haven't seen it spelt yet officially, so until I do, I'm gonna just keep calling it Gravator or Gravatar because we don't know if it's a or O yet. And her name is Harlow. And she is actually from the Trump family, and she was a former Maliwan scientist. So we have a Trump, which kind of, I feel like she kind of fits with the whole, you know, Zane being a Flint thing from this game. Especially since we fought all the Trumps in this game specifically.
Yeah.
Right? And so, I didn't go into a Mon's backstory, I wanted to save it for last, because I think his is the ridiculous backstory. So Amon, it was from a tribe and a family that they were a cult that worshipped vault monsters. Well, when the vault monster was finally released, it killed his whole family and everybody that he loved, so he vowed to kill every single vault monster.
I'm dead.
I might be too. I need somebody weaker to kill. But all I got is badasses around me, and I went down trying to pick you up. I did not make my Moe's part of this build very strong. She's all Iron Bear. Which is probably the weakness of this build, but unless I go to pick somebody else up, I don't normally have to worry about that, because I can just keep popping Iron Bear. I should have popped it above you before I raised you up. But hold on, I can hear Alexia yelling at me.
And money, 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 money.
Hold on, we're talking about food. I gotta send her some money for some food, and then I'll be ready to go.
Food.
Okay.
Oh,
So you should be good to go now. I think. Are we good, baby? Do I need to? She said, hang on, hold on. We good? Okay. Alright, I'm coming back. We gotta not die this time.
I don't think the cryo is going to work with face cast.
Yeah, there might. You just gotta maybe mix some things up a little bit.
Or increase more splash damage using this shotgun, using the butcher.
Yeah, maybe not so much as the splash damage with it, as just make sure you get your phase cast in first, and then shoot it. But it's hard to tell without seeing, like, visually seeing your setup, and then seeing how it works, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Just try to stay kind of near me so I can revive you easier if you go down. Use this big thing for a shield.
Let me see your eyes!
Do you have
Yeah,
that
yeah.
life tap thing that I recommended for your one skill?
Where it regenerates, I didn't max it out. I'm down
No,
right
no,
next
no.
to you.
Nothing I could have done there. I was getting blown up. Gonna pop out a new Iron Bear 'cause the one I had out was about to explode. Did not make it to you in time, I'm sorry. But no, the one that, like, so you get those skill augments, right? The one I was talking about actually is for, when you do damage with your action skill, you get a percentage of it back as health.
Yeah, soul sap.
Soul
Portion
sap.
of all damage dealt is returned on her or nearby ally as health.
Yeah, you should be able to use that to keep yourself alive. Just by spamming your action skill. Which, if you did spec it out right, you should be able to double burst and then do a little bit of shooting and then double burst, do a little bit of shooting. You're just really paying attention for when you get that phase cast back. Phase cast builds are very reliant on the constant use of phase cast. So once you get used to that, you're cooking. Alright, so I just need to make sure auto bear is active and then use that herald. Say something, baby? Oh, okay. Gotcha.
She said Hakuna Hurtalis. Empanadas.